versus Chinese also.
You want to cast this match?
I don't remember what's going on.
We're casting it.
Oh, we're doing it.
All right, so we got Infi versus WFZ, and I don't know which one is which, but one guy is winning. They're both Chinese. All right, we got the obvious out of the way.
Yeah, he's kind of getting pushed out here though. His Death Knight is kind of running away. You don't want to lose those area units. Those are expensive ones. Oh, it's down.
Are they? What is that?
It's some expensive flying unit.
And I don't even know what that is.
Should not be running his hero back in. That's only going to get harassed more. Yeah. Don't want to lose your heroes in this game. It's usually
I don't even know what
important.
that flying thing was.
Is it a Harbinger?
I don't know. That thing's getting really repaired. Looks like both of them are like rushing each other right now.
Yeah, this is.
But as far as base defense, it's a lot harder to take an undead base with fewer units than it is for take a human one.
Sure.
So.
Backing himself into a corner. No! Oh, that's a brutal one.
Is it?
You can't be losing those heroes. That is a major swing in this game now.
Okay.
Human has a large advantage. There's absolutely no way Human doesn't have the advantage. Units coming in to reinforce this. More flying units being lost. Water elementals everywhere. I don't even know what they do. Do they free stuff? He's working on this railroad, though. I mean,
yeah.
1 HP at a time. It's being regenerated while being attacked.
Doesn't the Lich thing have like a death and decay that kills all those little dudes? Like, why doesn't he just do that?
That's the is it the Lich or the Necromancer that does that?
It's been a while.
I think it's
the
Necromancer.
Is it?
I think so. He's got
maybe he needed that one.
He's got like the what's the aura called? Heartstopper aura.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, that's the Frost Nova. So he's picking them off.
Oh, I see.
Yep.
Okay.
That tower's doing some work.
All right.
Here comes the recall.
Yeah,
this push is going to get pushed out. This is going to be at least another 45 minutes.
You think so?
I mean, this game's tend to last forever. And it's human versus undead. It can't not last a long time.
All right. Yeah, I don't actually know the undead units that well.
Solid. Picks off that Nerubian.
That's another Stormbolt, isn't it? I think that's like a regeneration flying creature thing for like the undead.
I think that's what, if I remember correctly, that's what they were.
It's like a really pathetic damage unit.
I think it's mana regen,
I think you get to pick.
Yeah.
I think it's like mana, and you like transforms into like a health or something.
That's the flying one. It like breaks away from the stand.
Yeah, I don't know.
Creep farming. This is a big deal. What level's that Lich? I want to know that. Oh wow, he's getting harassed out of this camp too.
Does the camp really matter at this point? I think they're pretty high level. This game's been going on for a while.
Every bit counts.
I think that mage might actually die.
Oh my gosh.
Those flying things are pretty brutal right now.
Those are expensive ones. Again, you have to make that one and then upgrade it.
Oh, I see.
Yep.
That's probably why I've never seen it.
Undead upgrades they feel like they're so bad.
I hate undead, man. Those ghouls are so worthless.
Yeah. Frostworms are pretty good if you could ever get to that point.
Yeah, but like when you get to that point, that's all you make. You don't make like the little
That's exciting,
things.
man. Nothing but Frostworms. Spam one unit for the rest of the game.
When I played the campaign on my stream a while ago, that was basically the strategy. You just race for Frostworms and you make like, 2 little packs of them. You get like 20 of them, and then nothing happens.
Yeah. Everything gets frozen.
Freeze the whole base and kill. Yeah, it's easy.
Solid. There's a big push coming in here, though. I don't know if he's going to be able to hold this.
What do you think of the tower placement? I mean, I haven't seen competitive Warcraft 3 enough to know if that's a good thing.
Wow, I'm actually surprised by that.
What's like the lightning thingy?
What lightning thingy?
There's like a lightning thingy surrounded by the arrow thingies.
Perhaps I'm a bit lost.
Okay.
Needs to take this gold mine, it looks like. So he's got a harassment front coming in to buy him time to take another gold mine so that he can build more stuff and continue this game for even longer. Exciting stuff. I don't know what that drop is.
Yeah, I don't know.
The buff is important. Is it a buff or is it an item, I wonder? What the heck's going on? That guy's he's just powering his way through. He's going to tank it.
Yeah. I mean, it's working. It's leading them away from the town hall.
He's realizes.
He's like, wait a second.
It's impossible. He's got way too much HP. Those mushrooms are an important spot, too. Zeppelin's doing some scouting.
All right.
This is valuable information here. This actually might turn the game. Is that a drop that's coming in?
Is it? It is.
Oh, there's a big drop.
Hero
Harassment.
drop.
That's no longer mining gold from this. This is a huge deal for
that
human.
hero has like no life. This feels like a petty play to try to outrace the undead. I don't think that's going to work.
He's got to stall that development. Towered up, though. And here we go, back to Harbingers dealing 5 damage at a time to 7,000 health buildings.
Okay. That does sound familiar to what I remember.
Look, that tank has made it all the way there. That's a touchdown. He's gone all the way. He's got a Death Knight beating him up, and it doesn't even do anything. It took 4 towers. It's still not dead. Finally goes down. Those heroic efforts will be remembered forever should Human win this match. But history's written by the winners.
2 hours from now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know the units. Like, there's like that scouting shade thing that's like on roids or something. Is it normally that big?
I feel like it is when you take, because that's one of the camp ones, right? The mercenaries.
See the purple thing.
Yeah,
oh, is it the camp thing? Oh,
okay. Isn't it?
I see.
Hero's getting harassed out there, but a lot of damage coming in. They came from behind. Oh, the Lich is gonna fall. Wait, no, it's not. He's not even attacking it. Units die so slowly in this game. It always felt like it was so much faster when I played it as a younger child.
Yep.
After 15 minutes of beating up that build, it's like a real building he has to knock down.
Mm-hmm.
It would take you so long.
Yeah,
this
is the new Hearthstone patch right now. Yeah.
Recalling. Oh, GG.
Someone GG.
Coming in. Human, too many units, I think.
That's 2-0 because GG came from the guy that didn't win a game before. Yeah. I think now we can shove those guys off stage and make way for some real game. Some Hearthstone action.
He was like, well, I could die in 45 minutes or just quit now.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they invented concessions, by the way. Is 4 games just like that.
Yeah, because in Warcraft 3, you have to, like, play the game out until you kill every unit, right? That's, like, impossible.
It takes a long time. It's very possible. It just takes hours.
Okay.
I used to actually just hide my tree of life in the forest, and people...
Did you have the better internet connection?
Well, people just wouldn't find me something, just give up.
Okay.
Like I would just detonate my wisps and then eat the tree like way back into this angle if they didn't make air
Couldn't you do that? Couldn't you just put your wisp on the tree in the middle of like a forest or something?
Yeah, they have to make flying units and A-attack ground somewhere and hope that it finds it eventually. Most people would just give up though. It was after 20 minutes of that, because I was just like, reading Google or something.
Okay.
I had about a 52% win rate with the hide the tree strategy.
That sounds pretty good.
It was pretty good. That's how I got my old TDA names.
Yeah.
Way back when.
Infi outclass WFZ. Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Solid human play.
I don't
really
even
good
know.
macro. I wonder what their APM was that game.
I don't know. It'd be pretty cool to have like just ridiculous statistics like that for Hearthstone. Just like APM in the corner.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Noxious, when he was squashing the vegetables, my gosh, he was cranking it out.
Yeah.
That had to be at least 65 Hearthstone APM, which is a lot if you think about it. He had some pretty solid micro too.
Yeah, I don't know.
Dragon cards all around the screen.
Let's see if
really
the Dark Wonix group actually resolved. I'm going to go for a refresh on that one. A lot of people were rooting for Dark Wonix. I don't remember who it was, but I asked someone who they thought would make it like all the way, and they gave Dark Wonix, even though he's in like what I would consider the least likely group to qualify from.
I don't know. It's like it's an advantage and a disadvantage not knowing what your opponents are doing, because on some level I think they kind of expect you to know. So if you just power play your way through the group, you can really catch people off guard. But at the same time, you can't prepare well for what your opponents are doing. So if they're aware that you can't do as much research as you normally would be able to do, they can just power play you right back, and you kind of, oh, well, we're less to
You have some kind of results? Who else is in? Dark Wonix made it. He won 3-1 so far.
Solid. He's been playing really well today.
And Calm was the druid that we saw.
Yeah, Calm's I think he actually played pretty well. Like, aside from some...
Those druid games are so funny.
It's
like, oh, you're losing. It's like, oh, sorry, bro. It's like 26 damage.
I had 29, I think, versus hyped on my druid turn. Well, I mean, he went into the turn. I had a 7-5, a 5-8, a 2-4, a 2-3, and then Force Nature Savage.
Yeah.
It's a bit of damage.
We saw some of that from the Shaman. Did you see the Shaman game that we casted?
The double Bloodlust one?
No. It was single Bloodlust, but it was like the opponent had like 20 health, but it was like Fire Elemental and like a 6-attack Drake because of Flame Totem, and like the Fire Elemental had 8 attack.
Yeah.
So it was like Bloodlust and 2 Wind Fury.
14 plus 9.
It was like
Oh my
50
gosh.
something. It's over.
Solid.
Yeah.
I wish he would have 27 armor, his opponent.
Why do you think shamans are so underestimated? I mean, they seem to do very well against the hunter in that game.
I think a lot of it came from sort of when shaman just wasn't very good.
I mean, people say shaman isn't very good now.
Right. I think it's like a what's the word I'm looking for? When something's like in the back of your head and you just accept it as true, even though it's not true because it's been that way for so long.
You think it's not true?
I think shaman's a great class. Shaman barely got bumped for me because I didn't think shaman had a strong matchup versus anyone in my particular group. That's literally the reason why shaman got bumped from my group. But other than that, I think it's really strong. I didn't expect very much hunter play coming to mind. I actually didn't expect anyone to have hunter in the best of 3 portion, but I expected all of them to have it in their lineup.
It's a lot of hunter that we saw.
Well, none of my group played hunter.
Yeah.
And so shaman actually does well against hunter because your opponent can't just like draw 50 cards anymore. So if you have managed to have something like lightning bolt, rock biter into feral spirit and then just scale from there as a shaman normally does, when you have hex for something like Savannah Highmane or Sludge Belcher, it really turns that game over because they're relying on their early pressure to kind of turn the mid game into the late game.
Because like hunter's a lot more of a mid game type of class now, but at the same time, I mean, I don't play construct. I don't play construct. I certainly don't play hunter.
It's not for you?
No.
Thanks.
Yeah. But when I play like arena, it just feels like the shaman gets going like too slowly.
Yeah, in arena for sure. You're very reliant on cards like Feral Spirit to make up some ground, and cards like Lightning Bolt.
It's usually like the explosive traps and the unleashes with the buffs, like a Timber Doggy or a, let's just call it Animal Companion.
Misha.
Yeah. I mean, it just like clears the board, and it makes a lot of the cards useless, like a lot of the totems, a lot of the bloodlusts. And I mean, when I think about it, it just feels like Hunter would probably win, but what we saw was the complete opposite of that.
I think in a lot of the traditional Hunter decks, because remember, Hunter also used to be go straight for the face sort of deck, like Abusive Sergeants, Leper Gnomes, and then just like Arcane Golems and Wolf Riders, and they get misdirection, and you're like, I hope this 3 hits him.
Yeah.
I got another bow charge. Like, that deck crushed Shaman because Shaman had no way to fend off that sort of pressure. All of your pressure came in the first 3 turns, and then you just used what were effectively burn spells to finish off your opponent. And with your hero power, you drew an arcane shot every single turn with that, and Shaman didn't have a way to actually pressure through it. So that matchup became so bad for Shaman that you just couldn't play it because Hunter was actually a force of the metagame. So then when Hunter took the next step and started turning into a mid-range deck, you had Buzzard Unleash. So Shaman had a tough time committing to the board because you could draw so many cards from it and then just use all of your cards inefficiently, but you had enough of them to topple your opponent over. So Shaman was also weak in that point. When Shaman started really getting better is when
Sea Giant?
not Sea Giant, it's when Shaman bot. It's when Hunters started taking a turn towards actual scaling minion pressure with cards like Undertaker. Because Shaman has a lot of 1-mana answers to these minions that you rely on to get a lot of work done. So when it scales into the mid game, you're no longer looking at a deck that's going to draw 6 cards while you're at 15 life and then just finish you off. Sometimes it will do that, but you're looking at something like Sludge Belcher or Savannah Highmane being the effective late game push. Like, it doesn't need late game legendaries because of the pressure it has early. It accelerates you to the end game with a card like Savannah Highmane.
I kind of see that.
So when it changed dynamics, that's when Shaman
I just don't think it's like, in my mind, I just don't think it's still that good. I still see Shaman as like the pretty good against most things, as a lot of players have described it.
Safe picks are good though.
Yeah. What I think Shaman is quite good against is Warrior and maybe Paladin.
I think Shaman, it really depends on the Paladin builds. Like, if Paladin is like a Baron-Geddon, for instance, you're looking at a pretty bad matchup for Shaman.
Okay.
If Paladin is running unstable goals, sometimes it can get a little questionable.
I don't think I've even ever seen that.
Unstable goals, really?
In Paladin?
Yeah, I ran 2 of them. That's like how you beat all the early game
matchups. Yeah, but you're here.
It's true, but to be fair, Paladin, it does pretty well. Like, let me put it this way. I went 5 of them in the qualifiers, leading with Paladin every single time. Let's put it that way. Paladin does, if you can build Paladin to do well against certain kinds of matchups, and as a result, it really hurts in the other matchups that you have to sacrifice against. That's why Paladin's not very popular. But, like, you don't expect Paladin to be a class, so, like, picking Shaman to beat Paladin, I think, is kind of Like, that would be a really poor reason to bring Shaman unless you just knew your opponent was playing Paladin.
Yeah, Paladin is just not that popular, which again reinforces that. But I mean, I don't feel Shaman is that bad against like Handlock either.
I don't think it is. I think it's slightly favored.
Yeah.
Not as favored as people
I don't
think it
know
is.
if it's favored.
Well, when Jiraxis got put back in, it really changed the dynamic of the matchup because
Okay.
Shaman had to actually pressure Handlock at some point. Now that they have Jiraxis. Without
Yeah.
Jiraxis, you could just continue to fight through them and blow up all their things one by one.
But at
and
the same
eventually
time,
win.
like, how good do you think Shaman is against Warrior, for instance? And we haven't really seen that many Warriors.
It really depends on how the decks are built.
Yeah.
Like so much difference goes into, like, is Shaman running Doomhammer and Alec here? Is Shaman running
The
a
ones that
copy
we've
of Harrison
seen, yeah.
Jones? Is the Warrior running a Gore Howl, or is he running 2 Death Spites instead of 1 Death Spite and 1 Gore Howl?
Is that really it? Like, all these things you're saying seems like things that I haven't really seen at all.
They don't come up very
Like
often.
Gorehowl is being played in Magic Wind's Warrior deck, but he doesn't like replace anything. It's just 5 weapons.
He just has 5 weapons?
Yeah,
I think that's
and
just a mistake. It's so many weapons.
What do you usually replace for the Gorehowl?
1 Death Spite.
You don't think Deathspite is worth keeping in, or is it just because a lot of the 1 health aggro is a bit gone?
It's not that the 1 health aggro is a bit gone. It's that Warrior's already going to do pretty well against those matchups.
Okay.
And so Warrior starts to crush those matchups when it has 2 copies of Death Spite. So he's hedging his bets against that, and he wants something that's going to fight through mid-game pressure. So Gorehowl is going to help you fight through Sludge Belchers really well. Helps you fight through like stuff like, as weird as it is, Cairn when you really need it to. If you need something to start chopping down totems, Gorehowl does a pretty good job at that.
Totems?
I know it seems awful,
Oh, poor
but
Gorehowl.
you have to shoot through him somehow.
I mean, I guess that's 6.5 totems you can kill.
That's a lot.
Maybe
for,
7 if the last one's
that's
a
a lot
searing.
for 1 investment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
'Cause they're paying 2 mana every single time, too. They rely on totems, too. A lot of their cards, like, synergize with it. They'll have Defender of Argus, or they'll have Flame Tongue Totem. They're using totems to actually do things, not just, like, for RNG purposes. Like, in some other matchups, rolling a Spell Power Totem for Lightning Storm is the purpose of the totem. But in something like Warrior, the purpose of it is to get enough totems out that a Flame Tongue Totem literally threatens something like a Ragnaros.
What?
That ends up being... Like, if you say you have 4 totems on the board and your opponent plays Ragnaros, you play Flame Tongue Totem, just run all the totems into the Ragnaros and kill it. That becomes a major threat when you start getting into the endgame. So something like Gorehowl to keep those under control really matters a lot. And sort of Cruel Taskmaster's in the same vein. Your opponent actually has to kill a Cruel Taskmaster, so that way they can't just kill every single totem that you play. That ends up being really important when you're stretching into the long games.
Yeah,
and
I
that's
don't
why
know.
cards like Harrison are really important. It's
think
because
you-
they provide these swing turns.
I think you might see, like, some weapon to totem hits. I mean, I've seen that a few times, but I don't think you'd bring out a Gorehowl and start chomping down the O2s.
It's not that you bring it out just to do that.
Yeah.
It's that, like, it's a side effect of it. So, like, say you play a Gorehowl and you kill an Azure Drake, and then your opponent doesn't want to just run Unbound Elemental into a Gorehowl, so they just totem instead. And in order to make sure that you keep parity with your opponent, you have to start attacking totems at some point. So that way they don't build up 4 totems, because you need to play something eventually.
Well, we'll have to see. But I don't believe Magic Wind came out of the group, did he? Who is... Oh, Group H. I was actually going to say that the most interesting Warrior deck was from Magic Wind. I think he's in the last group.
It's 5 weapons. What else was in there?
And I don't know if he qualified. So Dark Wonyx qualified. Who else? Magic Wind has 2 wins. Calm was the one that qualified. That's right. The one with the funky
Oh, yeah, we were just talking about it.
druid thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was zoned out. You kind of talk a lot. It kind of phases me out.
Well, what can I do? You've been here all day. Someone else has got to do the talking for you sometimes.
Not necessarily. We
Well,
can just
okay.
sit here
I'll
and
just
do
shut up,
nothing.
yeah. I'll watch
Actually, I
Warcraft
think
3
I'm going to
again.
walk around and see what kind of schedule, what kind of matchup we're going to see on the stage. They're probably setting that up right now. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we should jump right into it, okay? Cool. See you guys in a bit.